Welcome to What's That About podcast, investigative journalism on trending topics with our urban perspective. We also cover some topics that aren't trending if they need to be addressed. Today, we are talking about drill music. What is it? Where did it come from? And why is it based on murder? I'm not only your host, I'm also your brother. I am Brother Nice.
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son and he sent me some videos. And it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility.
So, what is drill music? Well, if you ask me, I'm going to say it's the most disrespectful genre of music ever. Because this is the only genre of music where artists take pride in disrespecting the dead. Now, if you ask some people how did drill music start or where did it start at, some people will say it started in Chicago. Then if you ask other people, they will say it started in United Kingdom. And both answers are kind of right, because the beats that you hear today that are called drill beats, those beats actually originated in the United Kingdom because they was rapping over that type of music first. But Chicago is the first city I ever heard of that would disrespect their dead in their music. I mean, they're the first ones that's talking about, oh, I'm smoking on your dead homie, I'm smoking on the ops in this pack. And it's so crazy that a 14-year-old boy by the name of Tuka got killed. This was some years back. A 14-year-old boy by the name of Tuka got killed in Chicago. And you started hearing rappers in their music saying, I'm smoking on this Tuka pack. That term got so popular that artists in New York and people in New York started saying it. Oh, I'm smoking on this Tuka. Because they thought that meant they were smoking on some good weed. They had no idea what they were saying. They didn't even know that a Tuka pack is a 14-year-old boy that got killed. And it wasn't until the boy's mother came out and said, can you please stop saying this? Y'all are disrespecting my son. That people in New York found out what a Tuka pack really was. I mean, it's crazy that the disrespect of the dead in Chicago is that popular. So now you have artists in New York City. After Pop Smoke came through and he blew up, now other artists see a way of getting signed and getting their music out. Because for a minute, New York City was going through a drought where none of the rappers were getting signed. But Pop Smoke really opened the door for this drill wave in New York. So now you have these artists that's making this music, disrespecting people and talking about people that died, trying to get a record deal. And what's happening is it's causing more violence in the street. That is the only bad part about this.
Less than 24 hours after fans gathered in Canarsie to remember murdered drill rapper T. Wu, another aspiring rapper was also shot and killed in Brooklyn. His grieving father spoke exclusively to Fox 5.
Our first reaction was, he's a strong boy, he gonna make through. You know, he gonna be all right. But then I was at 2 o'clock. Then 2:39, I received another call, which was from a doctor to tell me my son was dead.
A heartbroken Perry Williams spoke with me from his car after identifying his son's body. 18-year-old Jaquan McKinley, whose rap name was Chi Watts, was pursuing a drill music career on social media and streaming platforms, but there was hard competition from the streets. His dad says he was no saint, but should not have died like this.
Our hip-hop is no longer hip-hop anymore. And now, if you're not doing drill, you're not going to get no play.
The hard-driving beats and dark, ominous sound of drill originated in Chicago. It was also heavily gang-affiliated. It got a new life in Brooklyn and was brought into the mainstream by the late Pop Smoke. His friend and protege, 22-year-old Tajay Dobson, known as drill rapper T. Wu, was shot and killed last Tuesday, also in a drive-by, right after signing a record deal.
That drill is the devil's music. It's nothing but murder, death, kill, drugs, everything, the whole ingredients for us to lose.
The rapper's murders come as the NYPD is coping with a flood of illegal guns on the streets and a 32% rise in shootings last month. More than the music itself, NYPD says it's the taunting and dissing in the lyrics that are rapped and posted on social media that fuel the violence. Police are not blaming the music itself, but say it makes a combustible mix with gangs and readily available guns.
These are geographical gang members involved in violence. We've seen it over the years, but the rap definitely inflames the situation.
Now, the reaction to these murders has been overwhelming from many sides. Drill music producer and Hot 97 DJ Drewski, who helped launch the career of the late Pop Smoke, says he's no longer playing any diss records because he's tired of seeing the loss of life. Some record labels are also taking action, refusing to sign new drill artists.
I want to send my condolences to the father that we seen in that news clip that just lost his son. And I want to say rest in peace to those two young brothers that died. I'm starting to believe that part of the problem with our youth is that their ego is too big. I mean, how could you want to kill somebody and throw your life away over a social media post? One kid says something about the other kid on Instagram or Facebook. Now that kid wants to get a gun and go shoot at the other kid. How did it ever become that serious is what I'm trying to figure out. And I think somebody's out here telling the youth that jail is not that bad. That's one of the biggest lies ever. Matter of fact, the whole street, the streets period is a myth. I don't know what your big homie telling you or whatever your friends is telling you, but if you go to jail, they're not going to take care of your family. They're not going to come check on your moms or your little brother, your little sister. And some of the people who you think are the toughest or the hardest are the same ones that's out here cooperating with authorities. The sooner you figure out that the streets is a myth, the sooner you will start living your life in a completely different way. I promise you that.
Black people that get on the radio every day in white-owned companies, white-owned stations with white-owned sponsors that play the role of hypersexualized, hypercriminalized male. I ask these advertisers, I say, I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station? They said, no. I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station? They said, no. I said, I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering blacks. Would you put them on your stations? They said, well, that depends. Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. Because if we can get black folks to sing about it and we can brand it for our youngest black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, how can you say that? They said, well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what they, black people, create. It's, matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear, which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, you know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person. And then a person says, I'd like to put that on my station. Another person said, I'd like to pay for it. And then there's people out here in the audience that go, I'd love to hear it, as long as it's black guys. Because even white people buy rap music, buy this type of stuff, because we know that when we want to hear about killing each other, we know who to turn to for that type of inspiration. We call it our music. We say we own it. White people buy more rap than black people. Yeah, but we're very careful to turn it down at the stoplight when other black people are there. Why? Because we know we're just pretending. For them, it's more authentic and real. I always ask the companies, what about your name? What about your brand? What about your value? And the largest radio company in the world said this: it's okay that we only have drug dealers on our black youth stations. We only have murders on our black youth stations. We support black charities. We give out water at the Martin Luther King parade. I think we've got it covered. We've bought them off. Now, people get upset, the smartest guys in the room again. You're talking about censorship. I don't believe that. I believe in free art. Make whatever you want. I believe you should make music about anti-Semitism. I believe you should make music about killing dogs. I believe in this country you should make music about bashing homosexuals and driving them behind trucks. I believe you should make music about stringing people up on trees. I believe you should make music about killing whitey. I believe you should make all that music. But I also believe that in the mainstream marketplace, people should hesitate associating their name with certain content. You know, there's certain stuff you can't buy at the store. Certain stuff you can't get on iTunes because their brand doesn't want it. But if you want to hear black people celebrating killing black people, they got thousands and thousands and thousands of those things to sell you. I don't think it's about censorship. I think it's about American cultural hypocrisy. Because here's the truth. These black entertainers, they can't sing just about anything. There's some stuff that'll get them fired. And they get dropped, and they get fired, and they get slapped on the wrist, and they get disciplined all the time. Why? Because sometimes they step over the bounds. A very famous case is what happened with Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the Mammy Two Shoes, one of the many Mammy Two Shoes of our day. He's a black entertainer in a world carved out for him, in a role carved out for him by white entertainment companies. And one day he talked about, in the middle of a song that celebrated dealing drugs and killing blacks, he made a reference to date rape. And when he made that reference to date rape, that set social media on fire. That got 100,000 petitions in 24 hours. Hey, buddy, date rape is no joke. That had white people standing outside of Reebok in New York saying, you better take this seriously. We're tired of a rape culture in America. One line in one song moved the masses. And you know what Reebok did? Did they stand by him and say, hey, we believe in freedom of speech. We believe in freedom of expression. It's just a song. Calm down. No, they fired his tail on the spot. The president came out and said, this goes against our high standards. He's gone against the values of our brand. Shame on Rick Ross. We're disappointed. He doesn't know how serious date rape is. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, how convenient. Isn't that amazing? But here's what really happened. It's not their brand, it's not their values. Rick Ross went off script. He was hired to get black customers, and they think that black customers go with black bait. And in America, black bait is the hyper-criminalized, hyper-sexualized portrayal of black people. And as long as he had sung about that, the stuff that got him hired, he still have a job at Reebok. But when he touched other sensitivities that affect us, he lost his job. See, the truth is, it's not they that need to change. It's we that need to change. We created the lies. We created them for our profit. We own the companies. We own the record labels. We own the advertisers, and we keep putting it out. And it's this that's got to change. I thought about it. You know what? I wonder if White Mike could get anybody's attention on this. So I stood outside of a Walmart, and I said, hey, I don't think killing cops and killing blacks is very cool. And you know what? It only took 7 weeks of Mike standing out there, and they wrote a letter and said, yeah, we don't think it's cool either. We're going to pull our name off of that. The largest retailer in the world had never considered that maybe their commercial shouldn't be right before or after a song about young black men being gunned down. And I realized this, that black murder is normal, but it should not be. And I realized the importance at the coffee table, at every headline, every pastor's gathering, every family gathering to say, you know what, these black lives matter. It's not just another black kid. These are human beings. I'm doing my best in every way, shape, and form. Talks like this everywhere I can go to say, you know what, I was born in a world where black murder was normal. My kids were born into a world where black murder is normal, but I don't want to die in a world where black murder is normal. Am I 5 years or 10 years away? I don't know, but I'm screaming as high as I can. Let's feel this pain and let's lift our voice to tell the lies. They are not criminals, they are not deviants, and their lives are just as important as ours. Thank you very much.
Wow. I really wish I knew what that man's name was so I can say thank you for being honest. Brothers, we gotta wake up. The real enemy, the real op, don't look nothing like us. I want to say thank you for watching this video. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe, and let's build. And if you're an artist and you like this beat that's playing in the background, it was produced by Lindbergh Music. That's his Instagram that you see on the screen. And if you buy this beat and rap over it, please don't kill nobody in the song. As always, peace, love, and progress. And remember, I'm not only your host, I'm also your brother. I am Brother Nice.